Oh, what's going on, Coaching Success Radio? Today we have another in our Future Success Stories series. Check it out. As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real-life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio. All right, on today's episode, I'm going to be speaking with Annie Henderson. Annie, actually, I just spoke to her a few days ago, and here's the thing, is that I did all these interviews, a lot of these interviews, over the past 3 to 4 weeks, maybe even longer, and some of these interviews have been a little while. So in these conversations, I'm talking to people, and I'm sharing, they're sharing their story, where they're at in their progress, but because they're still so new in this business, their niches are changing, and the things that they're trying to shoot for are changing. And so it's interesting that as short of a period of like 4 to 6 weeks, somebody can go through and say, you know what, I may need to readjust what I'm doing, I may need to rethink what I'm doing, and really focus in on something else in terms of like, okay, I was going to be a health coach, now I'm going to be more of a diet planning coach rather than health and fitness. Maybe I'll be more like a weight training coach, maybe I'll be more of a time management coach. You start kind of flipping through these things in your head, and I think that's okay. I would prefer if you find something that you are truly good at, truly passionate about, and start there and kind of branch off from there. But we all have a unique superpower, we all have a unique gift that we can help people through, and I think when you find that and you dial into that, that it makes things a whole lot simpler, and then you can kind of branch out from there. But I think when you're first looking, we kind of struggle sometimes to figure out maybe our identity in this thing. So I say all that to say that I've talked with Annie just a couple of days ago before this podcast went out, and she's already thinking through her niche, and she's not even totally sure that she's landed in the right spot with this conversation. But the value of this conversation is so great because, again, she's new, she's still thinking through stuff, she knows what she's good at, she knows what she enjoys, but she has a powerful story to tell about why she got into coaching, who she serves, what challenges she's had to overcome, what steps she's taking. So I still think there's super high level of importance and value in this conversation that I have. So like I said, if you're brand new and you're still trying to struggle and figure out what it is that you want to do, who you really want to serve, it's okay to be struggling a little bit. It's okay to change your mind every once in a while. It's okay to reevaluate. So this conversation, Annie Henderson, I think you're going to enjoy it. I think you're going to love what she has to say, and we're going to flip to it right now. Hello, welcome to Coaching Success Radio. Welcome to the program. It's William here, and today I have a very special guest, Miss Annie Henderson, and she's out in Texas, and she is a women's natural pain management coach, and she is just getting her business launched, but she has been doing a lot of work behind the scenes for many, many years, kind of leading her up to where she has decided to take the plunge and become a coach full-time. So Annie, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
So I want to talk today a little bit about, I guess, again, into your coaching business as it's coming up, but I'd love to hear a little bit of your backstory. I know that you've been a counselor for a long, long time and have a long history of this. So would you talk us through a little bit about just kind of what led you on this journey to finally becoming a coach?
Sure. So I have always loved psychology, and I started off, in maybe junior high, knowing I was wanting to go that path and that route. And then I got my master's in education and taught in a dual language school in North Texas. It was amazing. Then I went on to get my master's in school counseling and my master's in professional counseling, got my LPC to work with private practice clients, and went that route. And I just loved working with kids, actually. My partner calls me the child whisperer.
Yes.
I work in a elementary age with schools. When they need me and they need a long-term sub, then I come and I still help out if possible. So I do that. I enjoyed private practice and helping out clients, but I wasn't a huge fan of just the stigma and the formalities and sitting in the office and everyone, having to come in, because that's a huge leap of faith and huge step for people to, lower their guards and come in and just bare their soul to a stranger and talk about all sorts of things from the past. So I really love solution focused and forward thinking, less focus on the past, and just kind of moving forward and setting goals and helping people shift their mindsets and stuff. So with EFT, you had mentioned the natural and
yeah, you said natural pain management. And
natural pain management. So a lot of people can be hesitant when going to doctors or just taking lots of pills. And, sometimes it just seems like putting a Band-Aid over an issue. And a lot of times our bodies, whether they're stressed or anxious, we can produce physical symptoms. So one client I worked with was having some driving anxiety, to where she was just constantly looking in the mirrors, and it was causing stress, and then it was causing tense and causing headaches. We were able to use EFT as a method to quickly go through and reduce her symptoms down to a 1. Where it was an 8, it was just she was a commuter, and she would drive daily, and that would bother her severely, whether she was taking medication for the anxiety or not.
Would you mind just talking real briefly about EFT for people who don't know quite what that is?
Yes. I have. I mentioned it once, and they were like, electronic funds transfer? No.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I don't think that's it. Yeah.
Yes, it's emotional freedom technique, and it's similar to acupuncture without needles, and it's amazing. I mean, if you just Google it, you'll see lots of people doing like the quick version of it. And I did that for years before I became a practitioner, where I would use it for mindset, or maybe a confidence boost, or just getting kind of raising my vibration kind of thing. Now, when I became a practitioner, I have been focusing on pain management. I, for example, had a shoulder injury where I just thought I was getting old, all those years of playing sports and stuff. And I thought, okay, it's just my time. And I had it for about a month, and it was just a daily kind of bothering me. It wasn't sharp pain, but it was just where I couldn't throw anything. And I did about 3 to 5 minutes worth, and it was gone completely. I didn't take any medicine. I didn't go to the doctor. And I know a lot of times trying something new or anything that doesn't sound like doctor and medicine can scare people.
Sure.
But the results can be amazing and a lot quicker than people would expect. So I love kind of combining the two, life coaching and EFT. So combining those two is a great way to get through some stuff, whether it's emotional and authenticity. I helped a lawyer up in New York with that, and someone in Arizona with their self-image. So it can just be purely, emotional and mindset shifting, or it can be actual pain.
And you had said earlier that you love working with children, and I'm the same way. I actually do a lot of children's work in my church. I did a lot of volunteerism stuff around the community. They're phenomenal. And then also now for your business here, what I'm understanding is that you're tending to lean towards working with women. Yes. Is there a drive that is kind of? Do you find that it's something that you are more passionate about helping women? I mean, I'm assuming that if a man comes and needs help as well, but your target are women who are going through this. Is there a particular driving force or reason for that? Is it just?
No, not really. I am one of them. And just working in elementary schools, usually most of the time I was either working with female teachers or female admin or moms that were helping out. Tons of great dads as well. Sure. Yes, like you said, if there was someone that needs help, and I did help the male lawyer and different people, but mostly women is what my focus is.
So now that EFT, and I mean, it clearly is something. This is not brand new. This has not just come out,
no, not at all.
It's been out for a long time. But it is not something that you turn on the news and hear about it. It's just not something people know much about. So for you, one of the challenges I would assume would be in getting clients to come to you as a coach would be a step of education explaining what this is. Obviously, life coach is kind of becoming more and more of a term people hear. But what are some of the things that you're doing to try and help people understand a little bit about what it is that, you know, when you first introduced this concept of life coaching and this health, this kind of EFT, what's kind of how do you start that conversation with somebody?
So for now, I am just spreading it through. I mentioned we had a podcast called Happy Mama Village. Occasionally, if we start talking about self-care or anything like that, I'll maybe give a little snippet, or on our Facebook page. I've done a little quick video just explaining it and just kind of getting the words and the verbiage out there. If there's a great article that comes out, I might send that out as well. Just kind of to put it out there. It is getting to where there's more and more little articles and stuff. If you've heard of the Ortners, they have, I think, Tapping Solution.
Okay.
A brother, sister, I think another brother. Anyways, it's pretty big. They have several books, and even encourage it in the classroom, which is amazing. If I had a classroom, I would definitely kind of start in my day with this. But I have done tapping with kiddos, and I do it with my own daughter. She came home with a headache the other day and was, sorry, my pup came in.
That's okay. That's all right.
Uh,
So your daughter had a headache, and you were able to work with the same process.
Yes, and I wasn't sure because I didn't want to, you know, it can be a little bit different. So I asked her, like, do you want to tap for it? And she was like, yeah. And we just spent just a few minutes, and for her, it was able to resolve very quickly.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit more about your podcast, kind of why you started it and what is it all about?
Yeah, so I am a co-host with Brian Zielinski, and she's a fellow coach, and it's called Happy Mama Village. So if you look up thehappymamavillage.com, we have a Facebook group, and on this site, with my experience as a school counselor, elementary school counselor, and having practice with counseling adolescents, in the older age, and with my own daughter as well, we just kind of talk about, sometimes there's a happy mama tip where we'll give a tip, whether it's an app or something to keep you busy for the summer, whatever it is. And then sometimes we talk about technology and developing a family tech plan to make sure all of the social media and everything, your kids don't get in, you know, too deep without some safeguards kind of put in place. Just talking about great family practices and how to, you know, be the best mom you can, while also sharing some of our own stories of woe and some learning along the way, and some interviews, of course.
Awesome. Yeah. So it sounds like something that actually is super important. I know I have a teenage daughter. And a son who is now in middle school. So I understand the social media world. I understand, you know, how we look at social media and how they look at social media and the problems that they're facing that we never had to deal with. And that's wonderful that you got those topics to go into.
Well, good. Yeah. And I saw we both interviewed Mark Mawhinney.
Oh, yeah. No, Mark's a great guy, too. Yeah.
He's awesome, fantastic. Right?
Absolutely. So tell me now, with your business, I do want to talk a little bit about your coaching platform that you've got going and starting up. What do you want to do over the next 12 months? Where do you want to take this side of your life here in particular? And where would you like to be a year from now?
I have started to develop retreats.
Okay.
Put that out there. I'm actually have a short-term rental, Paradise Valley Castle over in Arizona, in Paradise
Valley, yeah. Uh-huh.
And I think having that time to get away and stay in a great place and have that in-depth coaching and that small group setting, or, you know, if it's a bigger home, this one can sleep 16. So if you need to go and you need to bring your family, they can still, you know, have their vacation and game room and pool while you're still able to get some self-development and learn some EFT tools as well. So I think making that into an awesome bundle where, you know what, it's okay. You can bring your whole family if you want to. It doesn't have to be, oh, well, I have to choose between a family vacation or self-development. I think that would be an awesome bundle to just create and be a part of.
So your retreats are geared for people who want to learn EFT and help themselves through it, or is it a coach? Like, what are you actually coaching people through on this? What are they learning and something like that?
So for the coaching, is just goal setting and where they're wanting to shift to. It, depending on if it's a group and their family, it can really be customizable. If this family's needing this, and then since I'm the child whisperer, if they need assistance and their kids want some coaching or some mindset tools or tips for school as well, it can be kind of a whole family package where not just mom and dad are getting to benefit or just the breadwinner. The whole family can learn communication tools and how to, use technology in a family-friendly way and have fun at the same time because you're staying in an awesome place.
As you're going through and as you're building this up, you have a ton of experience. Obviously the child whisperer, the counselor, the person who's been doing this for many, many years, but now starting on your own. What are some of the challenges that you're facing? And I'm asking because I know a lot of our audience is kind of where you are. They're very new at starting this business side of it. And so I'm just curious, like, what are some of the obstacles that you're facing that you're currently struggling with and looking to overcome over the next 12 months?
Part of it is shifting out of the school counselor role where you give, your time and everything, basically for free. Like you'll do conferences and talks and family meetings and all of this stuff. And it's just natural to just let it all come out. So making that shift, and then a shift in mindset with, just a 9 to 5. This is what I'm worth. This is what my time is worth, into this new platform and listening to you and Mark and Eleanor Strong and Guy Golan, and just having to make that shift from I'm a school counselor. This is what my time is worth. This is what I can provide, and making that big leap. That's a big one. And then also just narrowing it down, because I do, like, initially I just want to try to help everybody, but I forgot I don't know if it was on your page or whose, but they were just saying, you can't be pizza. Everyone loves pizza.
I can't take credit for that, but I did read that. That's
yes,
exactly right.
Was that Eleanor? Maybe.
It sounds like an Eleanor thing, Eleanor or Mark or something like that. But, man, it's just, that's probably one of the hardest things about this business is that it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this or who you talk to. It's that there's always this need to serve people who, if they fall outside of your zone or niche, and you're like, gosh, I could really help them, or I could really serve. And it's really focusing yourself down when there's a need right there.
Yes.
So, for me, the best thing I've been able to do is connect with, like, let's say Eleanor, or with Wendy Maynard, or with Mark, or somebody who's doing other stuff. And I can say, okay, cool. Doesn't fit me. Why don't you go talk to them? Because this sounds like more their avenue. That's been like my only thing. Because you start like, I can help everybody. And then like pretty soon you're like, I can't do anything. So
yeah.
I'll tell you what, Annie, it's been fantastic talking with you today. I'm so glad we were able to get our times coordinated and
yes,
for the podcast
thank you
today.
So much.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out. New episodes are coming out every few days, including lots of conversations with massively successful coaches sharing their secrets with you. So be sure to subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel so that you don't miss out. And if you're looking for a way to start making serious money from your coaching, you need to check out my free training. It's at williamwinterton.com. I lay out the step-by-step on how to start making 5 figures a month in the next 60 days. Check it out, williamwinterton.com. I'll see you next time.